Good morning, my fellow YouTubers. I am in a winter wonderland. It is just... wasn't even really supposed to snow much last night, but it really, really dumped. Okay, so there's one thing. There's a million things I had to learn the hard way, but one of the things that kind of really just came across my mind right now is trying to get a typical person, someone that is neither a narcissist or an empath, someone that is just a normal guy from like a relatively good family, just went to college, now he has a job, goes to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or whatever. He was just a normal guy. And you try to explain to them the torture and the suffering and the pain that you've been through at the hands of your own mother, father, brother, sister, uncles, aunts, and this person will most likely make the assumption that you're insane. It's not really his fault. He's just, there's that old adage, if you've got problems with everyone, maybe the problem's you. And so, obviously that line of thinking comes in, well, if you feel that all of your family members were extremely cruel and played all of these mind games of the silent treatment and triangulation with your own siblings and your own parent, they would just think, oh, obviously you need to be in a straitjacket. You need to be on a psychologist's couch. Because it doesn't seem possible at all. And, I have some things that cross my mind that I think about sharing that I just say, no, that's too unbelievable. That couldn't be believed. It reminds me, just now, I just thought of this, I really, really loved English literature, and then that led to me really, really loving creative writing. So in undergrad, I chose English literature as a minor. So my major was psychology, and my minor for my BA was English literature. And I took a creative writing class. Never forget this. The very first assignment was to write a story about a real event in your life that, really made a strong impression on you and really kind of changed you, either the way you think about things or how you do things, your perception on life, the afterlife, really kind of skewed and really had a strong effect on almost every aspect of yourself. And so I chose to write a story about when I was surfing in Mexico and a big shark swam underneath me to where I could see it. And she gave me like a C, not even a C plus. And she wrote one word up at the top in red: unbelievable. And I went up to her after class and I said, you told us to choose an experience that we've had that really had a strong effect on us. And she was like, yeah, I said a real event, a true event. I was like, I understand that, and that's what I did. She was like, this was not real. This was totally made up and over the top. It's totally unbelievable. I was like, well, it happened. She was like, well, I don't believe it. and I was your audience. And if your audience doesn't believe it, it's unbelievable. I don't care if you say it happened. It's like, so I get a terrible grade when I perfectly followed the instructions. I gave it my best attempt, and I think it's a pretty good piece of creative writing. And you're gonna give me a terrible grade because you say it never happened, and it's unbelievable. When you told us to choose the most mind-altering, life-altering experience we've ever had. And why is it so hard to believe that a shark, a big shark, could swim right underneath you? You know, they do exist out in the Pacific Ocean. There's real sharks, and they get big. I don't understand what's so unbelievable. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like, okay, so you can't understand that you can have a whole family that's very toxic and dysfunctional, and they designate one person as a scapegoat, and they all dogpile on that person. It's a reality. It really exists. You can go read the Diagnostic Criteria Manual. You can go read novels that have this taking place. You can hear people in their senior years relay stories that they came from a background like this, but it doesn't change anything. They just can't believe it. They're looking at you, and you look like a fairly normal person. They've seen you for maybe months or years, and you look like you carry yourself like a fairly normal person. There's no way you could have withstood that kind of hardship and that kind of abuse. So, you know, it is really, and the narcissists, the abusers, count on that. Because, you know, a big thing of what they want to do is to get you to be so hurt and so overwhelmed with the abuse that you just suffered that you go out and you tell these normal, quote unquote, normal people what you experienced, that they're going to label you, rubber stamp, you know, you're nuts, you're crazy. And they count on that. So, you know, if you go out and you talk to enough people and they know the abuser, then they're going to go behind the scenes, behind your back, and talk together, and everyone's going to agree that you're nuts, you're certified, because there's no way that this upstanding citizen, this leader of our group, and this person with high status that we really respect and look up to and feel like we really, really know better than you, is salt of the earth. This guy walks on water. How dare you? You know? And so that's why especially the covert narcissists go so far out of their way to Saturday work in a soup kitchen, to Thanksgiving time to go out and give clothes to the poor. If a stranger asks them for money or whatever, giving advice, they're always there. So they're more there for the people they don't know on a continuum, So not knowing you at all, complete stranger asking you for a favor on the street, versus your child or your parent that's like really, really sick and needs you to prepare meals for them and maybe even bring in the bedpan. And they will be more willing and happy to go out of their way for that stranger, that person they've never even seen before in their life, than for that parent or child that's actually bedridden. So they'll be happier spending time doing a favor for that individual they don't know. And it's all because they know that if you ever try to reveal the way I treat you in private, they would never, ever in a million years believe what you're putting down. So there you have it. Just something that we need to be aware of is that when we suffer this abuse, that is really meant for a therapist couch. We really are making videos in a community like, that a community that kind of has experienced that type of abuse and understands that it does happen, it is real, and it's actually very prevalent. Anyways, hit like, leave a comment. I'll talk to you later.